and welcome to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by my stunningly wonderful, incredibly beautiful co-host, Judy Loge.
No, you're talking about yourself again, Veronique, but thank you for that. And it's a really cold day, but nice to be inside doing this virtually. What more can we ask for? We're safe and we're together.
Absolutely. And you know what? We're going on 2 years now of virtual shows, which is, something we never ever expected, but we've made the most of it, not the boast of it, the most of it, of course. And, we're missing Audrey today, of course, but she's got some work commitments, that will happen, of course, for all of us from time to time when things will come up. But we're looking forward to having her back when she is able to. So we're kicking off the show today as we always do, and we have such a full show, 2 incredible guests later on in the show. But we're kicking off the show today with our quote of the day, and Judy, you're up for that one.
Sure. And it's nice to dig out these quotes each week. They're either thought-provoking or uplifting, and this one is, I think, kind of nice. If you remind yourself of the great things in life, the tough times don't seem so devastating. As devastating as things may be, as devastating as things seem, there is always that glimmer of hope to guide you through the storm. So I guess the key word there is hope, hope. Even that little bit of hope, you see someone laying in a hospital bed and, people look for miracles. Even if they're diagnosed as terminal, they still have that glimmer of hope that maybe something can turn around and it can change, right? And that's what keeps you going until you take your last breath.
Absolutely. And sometimes hope is hard to hang on to, but as you said in that quote, if you can just kind of think of those good moments, they'll carry you through moment by moment, right? And that's what we have to try to do and try to do for each other. Because it's critical that sometimes you can't find your own hope or your own moments, but if you can share yours with other people, sometimes it'll bring them along with you, right?
And I know how passionate you are, Veronique, and our listeners. I am so passionate as well about mental health. And in regard to hope, I was just heartbroken to hear the news that the 2019 former Miss USA, Chesley Christ, who was 30 years old, stunning inside and out, took her life. I believe it was yesterday. She lived in Manhattan and she didn't live on the top story, but she jumped from the top story and left a note for her mom, left all of her possessions to her mother. And she said her last picture was of her looking glamorous as she always was and put together, which was quite shocking too when you're in that state of mind, that it was on her Instagram, everybody have a peaceful day and or something like a good and happy, peaceful day. I mean, we need so many more avenues to help people with mental health issues. I don't know what the girl struggled with, but it didn't come up a whole lot about anything in her past, struggling with depression or that type of thing. And she was also a correspondent on the entertainment show Extra. She was vivacious and well-loved. And in her personal, professional life, she was very engaged with her community and also an attorney, civil litigation attorney, and gone.
Isn't that heartbreaking?
And then I think to myself, thankfully, she did accomplish those many, many wonderful things in her life that ended so young. That's the only upside of it, right? She did so much.
And how heartbreaking for her friends and family, of course. And and you wonder, she obviously was in an incredible amount of pain if she felt that was her only avenue. So how heartbreaking for everybody around her. And I think we have to get to that point where we realize that mental health is health. It is not, something separate or something, to be sloughed off or forgotten about. That our health, our physical health, and our mental health make up our health, and that we need care for all aspects of health, not just when we break a toe or a wrist or whatever it may be. We need to do better for those who
Yes.
are in pain, in a different kind of pain.
And I think when people open up, which they are slowly opening up to end this stigma, person by person, you'll pick up some comments, I'm having a bad day. Then you kind of dive in there and gently ask them, what can I do to help your day be a bit better? But people that come right out and tell you their whole deep story of their anguish and their nights of torment and their constant depression, I admire that. I think you are so real right now. So there's no shame in talking about it. In fact, I think it's incredibly empowering to hear people tell their story. And it makes me just want to grab them and say, yes, you've done it. You've released that beast. And now it might not go away like that, but at least you've told me, and together we can try to solve something going forward. I'm in your corner. So I would love for people to come to me and to you and to anybody and just say, Judy, this is how I've been feeling. I know I smile all the time, but deep inside, this is what I'm going through. And I would not be judgmental, and I would be open to hearing what I could do to improve that situation by all means.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And I think we are making strides. I think people are, a little bit more able to talk about it in some
Mm-hmm.
circumstances, and I think with some people, and that's a wonderful thing. I think we need to do better at knowing what mental health is, and what those
Yes.
illnesses look like, because of course right now what we have typically are those stereotypical ideas of what
Mm-hmm.
depression might be, or
Yep.
schizophrenia, or whatever it may be,
Yes.
or anxiety. We have those stereotypical movie ideas of what they are,
Right.
and all of those things come in so many different forms and fashions. Just like when someone breaks a leg, nobody breaks a leg in the same way, right? They
Mm-hmm.
break it in
Mm-hmm.
different ways and at different spots and in different, whatever it may be. So, and we heal that in different ways. Some require surgery, some require medication, some require
Yes.
physiotherapy. So we need to look at mental health in the same way, right? Is that everybody
Absolutely.
presents differently, and we just need that opportunity to be able to have that conversation. So, and you and I talk about it often. We talk about it on the show often. We talk about it in life often, because it is
Yep.
such a critical part of care for someone, is making sure that their
Mm-hmm.
mental health is also good.
And another thing, I happen to have it right here because I just finished it. It's on my table. It's a book entitled The Push,
Mm,
and it's by Ashley Audrain. She's an
mhm.
exceptional, it's her debut book, her novel, and she was 6 months pregnant when she wrote the book, her first attempt at it. But what I'm trying to say about the book is that it is so interesting in that it's a take on motherhood, and that our perception of motherhood is often that, oh, it's just all peaches and cream and glorious, and mothers have that little baby and they feed them and rock them and dress them up cute and blah blah blah. This is an inside look at the other side, and often the downside of motherhood. And it does incorporate mental illness into this book. It's a must read. In fact, they're turning it into a film. It was so
Ooh.
powerful. So again, The Push by Ashley Audrain, I recommend it. It's a bit sad, but it's
Mhm.
also very real. That's all I will say about it.
Love that. I haven't read it yet, but I absolutely will pick it up. And thanks for
Okay.
recommending that, because and that's another aspect of that mental health conversation that we have to have,
Mm.
and to normalize the fact that motherhood and fatherhood are tough, right? They're tough things.
Yes.
We're raising humans. That is not
Yes.
easy in this day and age, right? And so
I
we need to be
know.
more conscious
No.
of that.
Absolutely,
Now,
Veronique.
so a few days ago, we had our first really big snowstorm.
Yuck.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I'm trying to embrace winter the best I can.
Yeah.
I don't
Me too.
love winter in general, but I'm trying to embrace it. But We had I think it was reported 33 centimeters here in Miramichi, so that was pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
I know the
Mm-hmm.
winds were wicked around our place, but
Wicked.
like really wicked, like really wicked. And I
Mm-hmm.
ended up shoveling I think 3 walkways. I did dad's, I did our front and our
Oh
back
my,
because our dogs use the back,
wow.
and then our front.
Mm,
Well, you couldn't get through the front. So, but
right.
what do you do on a snow day, Judy? What do you do in a snowstorm?
I kind of like snow days. I just sit and watch everybody else shovel and I make food. No, actually, I really, like my neighbor and I were saying, we kind of like the fact that you're not obligated to do a darn thing because you can't leave the house. And if you do, it has to be for an emergency, is what they tell you to do. I mean, if you're expecting a baby, obviously you get out somehow, or if you have to go to the hospital for any reason. But we knew it was coming. So we had lots of food in the house. We had, our TV was working. I had my book, have my 2 dogs. Our son's still here. He goes back to in class studies on February 7th. So we've had him home, unfortunately, due to the COVID. They didn't want to do anything in person, but it's been a pleasure having him. I know it's not probably for him to be with us, older people, this long, but it is what it is. But I like storm days as long as they're not frequent.
Well, and it's funny, I feel much the same as you do because there's something psychologically soothing, I find,
Mm.
about
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you can't go anywhere. You're not expected
Yep.
to be anywhere, you can't do anything, and
Nope.
and really you're expected to have snacks and watch TV.
Yes. Yes. And chips. And you know what I bought yesterday? After the storm, of course, I found them. But do you know what's out there? And I don't like them at all.
Mm.
Are cucumber chips. Lay cucumber chips. I absolutely love cucumber. So I thought, well, if I combine that with something else I absolutely love, chips, I'm going to have a win-win
No,
situation. Oh, no,
no,
no, no, no. Now,
no,
that's my
no.
opinion. Someone else might gulp the whole bag down and say they were delicious. They come from China and they're limited. So if you do want to try cucumber chips, get them now.
No, I'm good.
No, no.
I no, that didn't float my boat at all. Now I will say this. Having said, you and I both got to stay home and vegetate in the snow, but so
Hmm.
many
Hmm.
of our plow drivers and our city crews were out, and
Ah,
I know it happened across the province.
yes.
And like the work that they do when those storms hit, it's absolutely
Oh,
incredible. They go out in the middle of the night, 2 and 3 a.m., and they plow for 14, 18, 20 hours to get it to be
I
able to
know.
allow us to get out on the road. So absolutely, I'm very fortunate. I know that to be able to kind of sit home and eat my chips and watch TV. But a
Hmm.
huge thank you, to our city crews and across the province, to all of those plow drivers, both private and
Yes.
government employed. Amazing job each and every time. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I echo that. And the fact is, and they know I'm joking, they keep me awake too. I wouldn't want to get too much sleep, when they roll by at 1, 2, 3, and 4 a.m. But no, again, thank you so much on behalf of all of us in our area and everywhere to all of you who do such a wonderful job during winter time. Big, big, big.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a job I couldn't do for sure. I mean, there's lots of jobs I can't do, but that's
No.
definitely one of them. But so last Friday we moved from level 3 of the provincial winter plan,
Hmm.
which saw
Hmm.
our most stringent restrictions across the province. So at midnight on Friday, we moved to level 2, which enabled our businesses that like gyms and salons and restaurants open again, which is
Yeah.
wonderful to see. I know that it's been an incredibly difficult time over the last couple of years, with
Mm,
the ever evolving strategies to combat COVID. So we're really glad to be able to
yeah.
see our local businesses and of course across the province back
Yes.
open and able to service their clientele and be in business.
And it's nice to see the kids and teachers back in school. When I was walking one of my dogs earlier, I was asking a little girl getting off the school bus, how does it feel to be back? Oh, I'm so happy. I love my teacher. I love all of my friends. And her mom said, oh, it's been so hard on them not having that in contact support and help directly. So, but then my heart ached because I talked to another little boy and he said, I don't like going to school anymore. He said, there's
Oh,
bullies. And I said, oh.
oh,
And he said, no, I like being at home. He's probably 8 or 9. He said, I like being with my mom and being safe at home. So, these little minds, right? Some are such
oh.
social butterflies and they adjust so well. Kids are, for that reason, maybe they don't fit in. Maybe they are being picked on. Maybe they just don't like going where there's crowds and learning in person. So everybody's individual. But personally, I'm thanking the job that the teachers are doing out there and the administration. God bless you all. It's a very, very hard job to start with, and you're doing an amazing job for being able to cope. I mean, these people have their own home lives and commitments, and maybe some are dealing with their own mental health issues and trying to keep everyone happy, and then they go back to school and they have to do it there plus educate. So I want to give a big shout out to the teachers out there.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly support that, and you're right, and they are doing an incredible job. Life is tough
Mm-hmm.
right now for all of us, but then there's that
It
added
is.
pressure and
Yeah.
and burden, to help guide those young minds through all of this as
Mm-hmm.
well. So, huge
Mm-hmm.
thank you to everybody who's doing everything they can
Yes.
through this pandemic. So, you know
Yeah.
what, we've got a great show lined up. We've got two amazing guests that are going to share their area of expertise, and I'm really excited for what's to come here in the show. So don't go too far, everybody. As I always say, grab a snack, grab your favorite beverage, whether it be hot, whether it be cold, whether it be a little spirits in there, a little or not, depending on what you want to do. Whatever it is, grab it. Come on back. We have a great show lined up for you. We'll see you right after the break. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by my ever wonderful co-host, Judy Loge, that I get to spend every week with, and I love that.
It's delightful. So happy to be with you too, Veronique, and all of our guests.
Absolutely, and of course, we are missing Audrey today. She had a work commitment, as happens to all of us at one time or another. We do have outside commitments as well, so we're looking forward to when Audrey will be able to come back to us, and all three of us will be here. But we have such an incredible show ahead, so much to talk about. And we're going to kick it off with our first guest, Norm Brown, who is the president of the Miramichi Cross Country Ski Club. Welcome, Norm.
Thank you very much. Pleased to be here.
Nice to see you,
So
and
glad to
thank
have
you for your time. Yes, great to have you.
Absolutely. Now we know all about the cross country ski club, or I guess we know some things about the cross country ski club. But for those of our viewers that don't know you, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I live in the former Newcastle, Miramichi West, and I'm semi-retired, and I've been with the Miramichi Cross Country Ski Club since it began in 1975. And it takes up a big part of my life on a year-round basis.
That's incredible.
That's a long time dedicated for sure you are to that world of skiing. Something I've never really taken part in, Norm. I've downhill skied for 30 years, but cross country is something I may have done, a little bit here and there. So first of all, for our viewers, tell us exactly where the Miramichi Cross Country Ski Club is located and a little bit about the area it covers and your trails, how beautiful it really is.
Okay, sure. Well, the Miramichi Cross Country Ski Club is located in Nelson, Miramichi on Nelson Street. It is also actually Route 126. And it's just out past Papa Joe's in Nelson on the same side of the road. So it's really right in the heart of the city. A very short drive for most people within the city limits. At the ski club, we have roughly 25 kilometers of groomed cross-country ski trails. 10 kilometers of those trails are what we call freestyle trails, which you can either do the skating technique or the classic technique. and then about 15 kilometers of strictly classic trails. 4 kilometers of those trails are lighted for night skiing, which is very, very nice, and has also been upgraded recently in a project, a major project that was completed in 2020, where we have now the ability to be open year round, not just in the wintertime, but also in the summertime for walking and biking and other types of exercise. So, and we also have 6 kilometers of snowshoe trails, and that is very well used. 6 kilometers, and all the ski trails and snowshoe trails are all through the woods, so it's very sheltered. So if it's windy, you're not getting the wind. And we also have, as part of the major upgrade that we did, finished in 2020, is now a 24-lane biathlon range, which is ranked one of the best in Canada to go along. And the third probably major part of that upgrade was a new ski club, a new clubhouse, and that clubhouse in the off season is available for rent for birthday parties, for showers, for meetings, all sorts of things. So we have become a year-round outdoor recreation facility. I like to say the center of excellence in this part of the province.
Excellent. It sounds like it. Yeah.
And all located right within the city of Miramichi. It's maybe the best kept secret in Miramichi.
Yeah, it sounds perfect, doesn't it, Veronique?
Well, I absolutely agree. And like Judy, I was an avid downhill skier. I don't seem to be able to be as coordinated as I need to be to cross country ski. But having said that, in 2020, for the very first time, I went out and snowshoed along your trails, and it was an amazing experience. And then last year, I got to learn how to shoot in the biathlon range when the team was practicing. So I've really gotten a chance to kind of test out everything that you've got going on there, and it was absolutely incredible. I loved every minute of it. So you're right. I do think it is the best kept secret here in Miramichi because it's pretty cool. But for those who do know about it and use it, so like, are there organized groups? Are there times that are reserved for seniors or for schools or whatever it may be, especially in non-COVID times, and that ability to get outside and do something? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Well, we don't really, there's not really certain times set aside for different groups, other than normally we have programs for the youth, jackrabbit programs and bunny programs. But this year we are not able to have it because of COVID. But normally we have that for the youth. So they usually have their programs on the weekends. And also the biathlon groups on Saturday mornings, and they ski a couple of nights a week. But other than that, people can ski whenever they want. We do have, like, I see small groups of people going out snowshoeing, 4, 5, 6 people all together will go out snowshoeing together, and as well as going cross-country skiing. But basically the trails are open the clubhouse is open from 10 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night for night skiing, which is very, very popular. But other than that, the trails are open for anybody to go ski anytime, whenever they want to go. The trails are there, and we try to have them open 24/7. Of course, sometimes right after a big snowstorm, it might take us a day to get trails, reset, repacked, and reset. And we actually, the last couple of years, and this one so far, because of COVID, we have had more people getting out, particularly people coming out and renting skis to get out into the fresh air and get some exercise without being in a big crowd. Yeah. Our advantage in a sense, because we've had more people getting out and renting skis and going skiing. And I would like to add one very nice thing that's happened just this winter is a Miramichi couple has donated free all the rentals for the remainder of this season. So snowshoes and skis and snowshoes are absolutely free for the rest of the season. What a generous, beautiful donation made by a young couple here in Miramichi.
I say yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
so that's
amazing.
Amazing, and it's helping. More people are coming out now and renting their skis and going skiing and snowshoeing. So it's really working well.
It certainly is, and thank you to that person that, or the couple that did that so generously again, and making so many people happy by doing so. Norm, so if newcomers want to take lessons, does the club offer that? And if so, how long, from your experience, does it take to learn, to be able to hop on those skis and do a little bit of skiing?
Well, actually, it takes very little time to learn how to ski, and the club offers free adult lessons. They're usually on the weekend, either a Saturday or Sunday. Now, again, this year and last winter, because of COVID, we weren't able to offer them. But on a normal basis, we offer free ski lessons for adults, and usually, one lesson for about an hour at the most. That gets you going on the skis, so you're good to go on your own then. And of course, each time you go out, you're gonna get more practice, and you'll get better as you go. Now, for the youth, we have the youth programs for, like, I think they take them as young as 4 in the bunny program, and the jackrabbit is up until the age of 12. So they get instructional skiing every week during their program. So they actually come out of that program being pretty good skiers.
Nice. Oh, that's just awesome to hear that. It sounds like a beautiful
amazing
program all the way around. Yeah. Impressive.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Now, and I will tell you as well. So that time that I did go snowshoeing, I so enjoyed it on your trails because they were so well kept, and there were so many people around, and people were hyping me up as I was waddling along. I actually went out and bought snowshoes soon after that, and then, although wasn't able to get to the club last year, did snowshoe in my back field all last winter. So I'm looking forward actually to getting out next weekend to the club and going through your trails again. So you inspired a new snowshoer because of how great your club is run and taken care of.
Well, that's great.
Nice.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. I made my dad buy snowshoes too.
Yeah. And the club hosts some provincial programs every year, events. As a matter of fact, this weekend coming up, we're hosting a Loppet, a provincial Loppet, and we've been running that since 1986. This year, because of COVID, as well as last year, it's a virtual Loppet. So some people will be skiing it at the club here, and others will be skiing it at their club wherever they live in New Brunswick, or for that matter, anywhere in the Maritimes. So that's happening this weekend, and hopefully in early March we will be hosting a New Brunswick, what they call an NB Cup cross-country race. Now, of course, COVID may play a part in that as well, but it's scheduled for March the 6th. And here's a nice thing. Our club, Miramichi Cross Country Ski Club, the Cadet National Championships. This is a national program for cadets all across Canada, and it'll be awarded to a club for 2023 and 2024. And it's down to 2 clubs, the Miramichi Cross Country Ski Club and the club in Brookfield, Prince Edward Island. So one of those 2 clubs will be getting it, and we're really hoping that it comes here because it's a week-long event. We'll probably bring 500-600 people here. They'll be here for a week. And it's a national event, so that will certainly put us on the map for sure.
Well, I was just going to follow up with your mention of the pandemic. Of course, it's been horrible, but how has it affected you, if at all much, with the outdoor activity? And if so, what are the rules when you go there to ski?
Okay, yeah. Well, the pandemic has affected us quite a bit because a lot of the events that the club would normally hold, like the Loppets, races, biathlon events, we haven't been able to hold them in person because of COVID. So some of them have gone. We've held a Loppet virtually, and we're going to be holding one this weekend virtually. So we've missed out there quite a bit. But on the other hand, we've had more people coming out because of COVID, wanting to get out and get some fresh air and exercise, while not in a crowd. So that has been a plus for the club. As far as COVID rules, the clubhouse has the COVID protocol in place, and basically you come in, you can use the washroom, or you can rent a pair of skis. You come in one door, go out the other door, and of course in the clubhouse and social distance. Once you get outside and get your skis on and on the trail, then away you go. You're fine there. So that's basically what we have for our protocol in the clubhouse. So it's been good and it's bad. It's brought us some new skiers coming out, but prevented us from having some events.
Yes. So understood. Thank you for answering that. Yeah.
So, Norm, we know that you're the president and you've been involved for just so many years. It's incredible. Talk to us a little bit about how the club is run. And I'm assuming, just like most of our organizations here in the city and across the province, a lot of it is volunteer, correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the club is completely run by volunteers. Now, we do have a clubhouse attendant that's there during the day to look after trail fees and ski rentals. But other than that, the club is basically run by a 12-member executive that works year-round to keep the club going. And there is work to be done year-round on trail maintenance and all sorts of maintenance on equipment and trails. And of course, now starting this year, we will be open year-round for people to use the 4-kilometer lighted upgraded trail for hiking and biking. And so basically, and we have a lot of volunteers, even beyond the 12-member executive. We have a lot of volunteers that put a lot of time in and donate and volunteer in so many ways. And I think really that's probably one of the reasons why our club has survived and thrived and grown over the years. It's because of the organization and the volunteer people that have kept it going. And it continues to grow. It continues to grow. So
great.
It's we're very fortunate to have the club, to have that club in our city, right in the city, and run by volunteers. It's such a big plus, and a plus to the city too, because the city can and they do use it for advertising to entice people to come here. And I know in a couple of cases, I've been told that the ski club was one of the major factors in their decision to move here, and that came from a doctor. And it's something that we want to continue to build on that, and we want the city to advertise it because every bit of advertising is a big help, and that's going well. And we've partnered with the city over the last number of years, even through this major project. They've been there right there with us, and it's just a great union between the two.
It is, and we all know the many health benefits. Yeah, the health benefits are we can't get into, but we all know, folks, it's amazing what cross-country skiing can do for you. Healthy.
It's rated as one of the best exercises that a person can do. You exercise the whole body. You're out in the fresh air. You're out for longer periods of time. It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So Norm, in our last 30 seconds before we end the segment, how do we get a hold of you? How do we come find you? Just so we make sure that everybody knows.
Okay, great question. We have a website, and that website is skimiramichi.com. Ski Miramichi is one word, skimiramichi.com. And on there, you can find all kinds of information about the club, all kinds of pictures. We have our own photographer, which everybody knows. And also the number for the ski club, telephone number is 622-6991. So you can call the ski club anytime between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. Check out the website. It has all sorts of information there for anybody to enjoy.
Amazing. So we want to thank Norm Brown, president of the Miramichi Cross Country Ski Club, for joining us today. Don't go too far, everybody. We have another great guest coming up right after the break. As I always say, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite beverage, and we'll see you right back here in a few minutes. welcome back to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined, of course, by my wonderful co-host, Judy Loge.
Yes, and we're here for another great segment.
Yes, we had a great kickoff to the show with our first guest. And of course, I had a snack, so I'm feeling really great now. I hope you did too. Mm-hmm. And we are joined by our, we'll call him a local celebrity because he definitely is for us, Brett Gallant, who is the owner of Adaptive Office Solutions and a local cyber security expert. It's a real tongue twister for me today. I'm sorry, Brett. I don't know what's going on. Nothing's working, but that's okay. Well, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's really a great pleasure to be here, especially after the great chat with Norman. I love his passion and what the club does for our community. It's amazing.
Yeah,
so I'm just happy
welcome,
to be
Brett.
here.
Yeah, we're happy
incredible
to have
dedication from Norm as well, eh? Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, Judy and I know you for sure, but tell the viewers all about you, Brett.
Okay. I'm happily married to my beautiful wife Allison, and I'm blessed with 5 amazing children. And it's a great joy in my life to have my family, and I have they range from 3 to 18, and life is always on the go. It's fun. So
and you're a really positive guy.
Yeah, and I'm happy. Like I'm involved in different areas in the community with scouting. I'm a proud member of the Rotary Club and volunteer in our church. And I love the gift that I've been given to be able to be in this community and to serve and just have a fun time. So
wonderful. And you're so brilliant in so many ways, and don't deny it because I've witnessed it. And one thing you're extremely capable of is operating that moment. The thing of the day is the computer, the almighty computer. So when did you first learn how to, use one? First of all, you have to be trained to use one. And then how did you become so advanced in this technology?
Well, it starts really, you have to take a quick journey back to when I was younger. I would play with the VIC-20 and then graduate into, I ran an electronic bulletin board system, which was pre the internet. And I had the good fortune of becoming involved professionally for a local company, construction fabrication company, Sunny Corner Enterprises, which I was so thankful to be able to work with that organization. I had a great time to grow my own knowledge there and get to grow as an individual. And I had a great crew of people that I learned a lot from. So it's amazing. Yeah.
So, amazing.
Yeah. Great company.
So out of that, I'm going to assume was born the idea for your business. So talk to us a little bit about Adaptive Office Solutions. I was bound and determined I was going to get it this time, so I wanted to make sure I took my time. So talk to us about
that. That's beautiful. Adaptive Office Solutions was started a little over 10 years ago, and it was born right out from when I left the company I worked for, and it was with the vision of being able to serve the region and beyond to help people with their IT challenges and talk to people in English, right, and help them and do the best that we can with what we have, giving adaptive solutions, be adaptable and throughout the years our organization has evolved. We've started with just myself, and it's now grown to a diverse team, and especially in the last few years, really focusing more on the cyber security aspect that everybody is talking about, because the reality is things have changed and cyber attacks are way up, right? And it's unreal what's out there. So So
Gee.
yeah,
And of course, we're going to be talking about the brilliant new book that's just out that you and other authors are part of. And I'm so proud of you
yeah,
for becoming that author that you've probably always dreamed about becoming, Brett. But for those
yes.
of us, I do know, the basic things I should know. But for those people who are totally in the green about cybersecurity, talk to us about it, what it is, and the impact it's had, as you just touched on.
Well, I like to, sometimes when you're talking about these things, you can talk about it by telling a story, right?
Mm,
And I, the one that comes to mind is just this Christmas, over Christmas holidays, we had a business come in that they lost a significant amount of money through a cyber attack, and the look on their faces was it was devastating, right? You know,
yeah.
what like what did that do to that company, and like how did it, well, it affected their day, affected their week, but how did it affect
Mm-hmm.
their financial situation? And and the reality is we sometimes we think, we're here in Miramichi and we think these things won't happen to us, right?
Yeah.
And the
Mm-hmm.
reality is they do, right? um, and and it's just we don't often want to talk about it. Hey, I had a cyber incident. You don't really go around talking about
Mm,
it, but these things are happening, and it's impacting people's lives, and it's, you know I can't stress how important it is to be more cyber aware, right? And
yeah.
and the first thing is, really recognizing that uh, what we've been doing, if you just have antivirus in your organization, that's not enough from a cybersecurity standpoint, and
Okay.
because things really have changed, right? So
Yes. It's
yeah,
so scary and it's so disturbing that people are out there ruining people's lives and stealing, money right from under their nose. Hard working citizens out there, it's vital that you are probing this whole area and that you're an expert in this whole
yeah,
issue. Yeah.
absolutely. And we're investing a lot of our time into continually being aware of the latest threats and impacts to different businesses. Like we m- we meet every day with with a group of cybersecurity experts around the world, at least 1 hour to 2 hours a day, and we're talking about how these things are evolving and changing and what we need to be aware of.
That's
So we're often changing how we approach and deal with some of these situations. You know, it's
right.
changed so much in the last 3 months. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah,
incredible.
But
yeah,
Um,
be aware, beware. Yeah.
yeah,
well, and that's the
yeah,
thing, right? I mean, our whole lives are online, right? I mean,
Right.
everybody I know does it, does just about everything online. So, talk to us though a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about how you came to write a book, and
yeah.
who else was involved in that, and yeah, talk to us about that experience.
Sure. Yeah. It really it started with the idea that we're talking to a group of us, Matt, and we said, we need to make sure we inform the people around us that why it's necessary to have a cybersecurity risk review on your business, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and it's vital. So we said, okay, let's go together, because the mastermind, right? Collectively, we can all bring like a wealth of knowledge to talk about our stories and our challenges in different ways, and give hopefully, well, actually, definitely, in ways that connect with people to realize what they need to be aware of. So we met quite a few times, and uh, we all picked a chapter, and we got out our pencil and our then started writing on our etch a sketches, and and did a lot
Yeah.
of editing, and then you know really made it all magically come together. Um, so there was lots of stories, and when I was thinking about it, when I was writing mine, I was thinking about the people, right? The people really in a business sometimes is some of the biggest vulnerability, because what your staff can do sometimes, and even yourself if you're not cyber aware, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can click on an email and all of a sudden you have a cyber incident happening where somebody's in your network, and sometimes these people are in for 120 days, right? Uh, on a network, we're not even aware of it. So
Are these
so that's
like
Oh,
that's the
young,
journey.
like, do you know about like these people? Are they from whereabouts and do you know anything about their age groups? Do you know anything about not, obviously you're not going to disclose personal stuff, but in general,
Yeah.
who are these hackers?
Well, the challenge right now is they're all over the world because the hackers, that whole landscape has become commoditized. So the
Mm-hmm.
entry level to become a hacker is not as difficult as what it used to be, right? Like it's
Okay.
like a hacker in a box. You go to the dark web and you find some information
Yep.
and oh, this is
Yep.
how I hack. And so
Okay.
they're in Canada, they're in United States, they're in Nigeria, they're in China, they're in Russia, right? Um, they're
But
all
Brett,
over, and
so
yeah,
but
yep,
kids can do this then, is what you're saying. Like teenagers and under teen age can do this if they want to?
absolutely,
Oh
yep,
my gosh, that's terrifying. No, they don't have to
yeah,
be
yeah,
brilliant in order to do it. Just really coy and know how to play the game and scary.
right, yeah. It's
Mm.
just pick up a little bit of information off the shelf, and away you go. So like that's
Wow,
yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Easy, too easy. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So
so
um,
what are some of the key things that we need to do to protect ourselves? Like, how can you help us in that way?
um, well, the number one is be really extra vigilant, careful, right? When you're opening up an
Mm-hmm.
email, right? Be very careful. Um, you know, if you have an email and you don't have two-factor authentication where you get another prompt on your cell phone, right, to sign into your email, you need to change that. You do. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
you really need to put a second layer so that um, that you can keep the hackers at bay. Uh, the other thing is,
Mm-hmm.
obviously having a good backup that's um, tested and verified, because it's no longer a matter of if, right, you're going to have a cyber incident. It's a matter of when, right? And hopefully it's
Yeah.
never, but the reality is, if I was to tell you that I can promise you'll never have a cyber attack, that's not really true. I can't promise that, right? You know, so you have to be put those bare minimums, and the other thing too is use a password manager, right? Have
Mm-hmm.
difficult passwords. Don't use the same password, and don't leave your
Mm.
passwords saved in the web browser. Like
Okay.
when you sign in, like some people
Yeah.
unfortunately do leave their passwords for their banking saved in their
Oh
computer,
my.
right? And
Oh,
that's all it
yeah.
takes is one click, and you know, so those are three or four things, you know,
Well,
Those
thank
are
you.
and there's
some
plenty
good
more.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
plenty more, and it's kind of terrifying because just last week I had to ask Veronique to put it out there. I put a post up to say I believe I've been hacked. I don't keep
yeah,
personal stuff in my email. Thankfully, I don't do that. Online banking, I we other take care of that otherwise. But so that was
yeah,
good. But I just knew that when people were receiving a friend request who I've already been friends with for a long time, that it was, they were up to no good. So I had to change everything. And I actually did do a whole new, account and password and everything. And then I put it up, do not accept a request. And Veronique and other people shared that. So we can help each other as much as we can. But like you said, be vigilant when it comes to our own computer. And if we know something's going on, do something about it, be proactive.
right, yeah, and like
Yeah.
put those extra, speaking to the home user, put those extra security settings if you're using Facebook, and
Hmm.
be careful what you're
Hmm.
sharing, right? And talking to the
Yes.
business person, uh, invest a little bit in your people and train them, right? Like we take a
Mhm.
multi-layer approach to cybersecurity, and so one of those is having micro training for the employees. So we don't, who wants to watch 30 minutes of training, right? But we take every week a 2-minute little video that makes you more cyber aware, right? So
Right. Yes.
for one example, right? So that, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? Right.
That's right.
Very true.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
So, Brett, we're almost done, which is, it's hard to believe that the segment went that quickly, but how excited were you to get your book published? Like, that must have been such a monumental moment for you. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I was really excited, like, to accomplish that, it almost feels like overwhelming, right? It's so cool to see it there, and that it went #1 already on Amazon, right? In a couple of categories.
Did it?
Yeah, it was pretty
really?
exciting.
Incredible.
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
in the conversations I'm having with people, it feels good because I know it's impacting some organizations that have bought the book, a few businesses, and that's the same conversation that others are having and experiencing. So it's pretty cool, So
pretty
cool.
So
as we finish the segment and show, how do we get a hold of you, Brett?
Just call us. The help desk 624-9480. We're on. We're available on Adaptive Office, but the best way is to call our office. We focus solely on business now, right? And so if somebody wants to have a cybersecurity risk review, certainly give us a call. We're having a webinar as well on Thursday at 11. So if you want to reach out to us and join us, we go through more in depth of making people aware of where these things are coming from. Today we talked to different areas of where this is happening, but if people want to know more, we have webinars every Thursday, first Thursday every month at 11. So
good.
Thank you so much, Brett. And we want to thank both of our guests for sharing their incredible knowledge and their passion for what they do. Thanks to all of you for joining us today. And we'll absolutely see you next week. It is the best part of our week for sure. So thanks to Judy and, of course, Audrey, who couldn't be here with us today. But we'll see y'all next week. Have a great week, everybody.